We are back at it. Man, the sunshine is out. I am ready for another great show. I want to shout out everybody that stopped by my show yesterday. Man, we had a great show. We had Miss World Vietnam in here, Hannah, getting ready to go overseas and show her country what she's about, visit the hospitals out there, handle some charity events out there. So Hannah right now is listening. I appreciate you, man, taking the time to stop by my radio show, Studio 110.live, my brand new radio show yesterday. We had my buddy Ian in here from his vodka brand down there in Soto, and he actually invited us to do a live show from his headquarters. And he said, man, he's got the setup. He showed me some pictures. He's got a hot tub in his office. He's got his airplane wrapped in his glass distillery vodka company. We had a lot of great guests. We had Mr. Washington in here yesterday. We had Taya Rose, who's got like 80 million followers on Instagram. And we shot a great video that hopefully you'll have an opportunity to see on the after show patio here where we broadcast from. Let's get the show kicked off today properly. My first guest on my mic today in the studio, my buddy, local Seattle-based rapper himself. I'm sure you're all familiar. He goes by DZ. Welcome to the show, DZ.
Hey, Dirty Harry, thanks for having me.
No problem. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
I'm not hearing him. How come I'm not hearing DZ? Why aren't I hearing DZ? I got his mic up.
It's kind of low.
It's kind of low.
Should I bring the level in over here?
No, I don't think that's the issue. I got your mic up. Talk again.
Dirty Harry, can you hear me?
Can we get one of our technical guys down the hall to come in and see why we're not getting DZ here on the air? But before we go back to DZ, we got an exciting show this afternoon. We got DZ. As soon as we clear these technical difficulties, we're going to be playing one of his songs on the air. It's called Stand My Ground, featuring Actual and, of course, the Jim Jones, big old artist out of the East Coast. We got my buddy Jeremy here from Popeye. We're going to be talking to him to see how close we are to getting that sponsorship opportunity to make Popeye Energy drink the official beverage of the show. Do we got someone coming down here to assist?
I asked for Aaron to show up, yes.
Is he on his way?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you talk again, DZ?
Dirty Harry, can you hear me?
I cannot.
It doesn't sound like it's on.
It's the mic is on, but I don't know why I cannot hear.
Should I switch right here?
Try to switch over there real quick.
Oh, see, Dirty Harry, this little mic light right here isn't red, and this one is red. So I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's nothing on my end.
That we're on over here. Are we
okay,
on?
well,
I sound on.
Yeah, I don't know why we're having those issues. So switch to my other microphone here for me.
Switch spots.
Yep. Cool.
Just get this going.
Let's get this going. I don't know. We'll have to have our engineers see what's going on with that particular microphone. I don't know why it's not on because
Dirty Harry, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Fine. I don't know why I couldn't hear you on that microphone. Everything's up.
Forget it. We'll fix it later.
No problem. All right. Welcome to my brand new show, DZ. It's a pleasure to have you in here, bro.
Now that we got the mic turned up.
Thanks
for having me, Dirty Harry.
No problem. How you doing?
Man, Dirty Harry, everything's good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be back on the radio. I took a little break, 19 years at that radio station in Seattle. But you know what? It was all about elevating the career. And everybody knows that, live podcast shows built out to this level, DZ is the name of the game. I mean, radio is not, it's not the shiny new car in the showroom anymore. I mean, that's a fact. Would you agree as an artist like yourself?
Man, coming from Seattle as an artist, we didn't have very much exposure from the radio anyway. So things like this, Dirty Harry, where you incorporate independent artists from Seattle, is a huge look. So shout out to Dirty Harry. Congratulations on the new radio show. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you being in here. So let's just kind of get caught up to date. You brought in 12 out of your 24 albums. I appreciate that. We'll maybe do some giveaways to some listeners later today. And but let's get caught up to speed. So what have you been up to? On the music. I know you're on the road quite a bit. I know you're in the studio a lot. You work with a lot of larger artists. So let's get caught up with everything going on in DZ's world.
All right, what's new with me? Everything's new with me. New albums. Just dropped my 24th album, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's available on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Tidal, however you say it. All the platforms. It's in local radio. It's in local record stores. Silver Platters. Easy Street Records. We don't really have that many record stores in Seattle, so it's only in a few.
Right.
But got lots of new videos coming out. My biggest one right now is with Jim Jones. Shout out Jimmy. Let's see what else.
And you told me recently you did a song with Twista, who was well, I had him for a couple times at Summer Jam, and I know he was crowned the fastest rapper a little ways back by the Guinness Book of World Records, and I thought that was huge, just to have a local artist representing the 206, the Seattle metropolitan area where we broadcast from. We're actually in Bellevue, but still same vicinity. For you to have an artist like Twista and put him on your video, I thought that was real big, man.
Dirty Harry, this is real big that we're in the radio station. This is almost my first radio interview, I feel like.
Oh, you've done others. I've seen you on YouTube. You've done some shows down in California.
I've done a few, but today's special, though, to me. But, yeah, I did a new big record with Twista. We just did a video for it. We had about 20 girls that turned out. Twista was here. He did a local concert at the Nectar Lounge. The video's coming soon. It's going to be on my YouTube channel, DZ206.
Great. Where did you shoot it at? Just all over the city, or where were you?
Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed. No, we shot it at one location.
Okay.
Straight Jacket Studios.
Okay.
They provided an all-white background where I pulled up a S550 Mercedes-Benz that happens to be mine. Because we're not faking around here.
It's a nice car. I've been in it a few times. It's a nice car.
So we did that. Twista came through. He showed mad love. We did the song about a month before that, and he told me if I ever come back to Seattle, DZ, we'll do the video. He kept his word. So shout out Twista and his manager Rawl. That was good looking.
Great. And how do you you put out a lot of albums and your albums do well. How often would you say, the pattern is on the kind of the grid timeline from album to album?
There is no grid timeline on it, Dirty Harry. Right now I'm backed up because of my artwork, man. 10 albums that are already completed in the full form, mixed, mastered, and recorded, just waiting on artwork, and then they'll be available to everybody and stuff like that. But I'm in the studio, like you say, and like every day working, putting new songs together with new artists, just building basically my catalog. And
when can we expect the next album to drop for the fans?
My 25th album's coming out this month.
25th album. What's the name of it?
It's called Street Kings. It's with an artist from Akron, Ohio named Young Bossy. It's a group album with Young Bossy from Akron, Ohio.
And you're going to be doing like some sort of party to just kind of commemorate 25 albums deep? Because, most artists out here in the greater Seattle area, they're lucky. I mean, honestly, 25 albums is impressive. And, and I mean that because you've been in the game, you've been in the game for a while, and you know that it's hard to even do one album,
I know a lot of people that are still working on their first album.
Right.
It's hard to figure out the recipe. There's not a lot of help around here. There's not a lot of guidance. There's not a lot of other artists that have really made it onto a mainstream platform where they provide help to the younger artists that are up and coming and whatnot like that. So,
and what I like about you is you always do give back. Like if there's artists out there that want to feature you or collaborate with you or get your expertise from someone that's been in the game for years, you're out there.
This album right here in particular is my 23rd album. It's called The Northwest Wing 4.
Okay.
For everybody who's not familiar with what this project's all about, it's the DZ Presents.
Okay.
And I get all the hottest upcoming artists from Seattle, Washington,
okay,
Tacoma, Washington in general, the Northwest.
Okay.
That's why it's called The Northwest Wing, and I put them all in the studio together that have never rapped before together.
Right.
And make this compilation, and this is the 4th installment of it. It's my final installment, and it's got a lot of hot artists on it from Seattle, and that's what it's designed for, is to give other artists that don't have as big of a platform as me a platform so they can come and do their thing and display their talent.
That's what I like about you. And one thing that's always kind of stood out to me too is like sometimes when I'm walking through the mall, whether it be South Center or Bellevue Square or Northgate, you'll be walking through with your crew and you'll just be giving albums out. Like you're not even worried about charging them. And I was really impressed that one time I saw you up at that shoe store North Seattle.
West Coast Boutique. Shout out my boy DJ at West Coast Boutique at
West
the
Coast
Northgate
Boutique.
Mall.
And there were some people in there, I think it was around the holiday season, that honestly couldn't afford to buy albums for
we were just
Christmas.
Doing a free CD giveaway and
Christmas
stuff.
stocking stuffers, and you just gave out free albums, and I just saw the smiles on those people's faces, just saying, you know what, like it's hard to come by anything free these days. I mean,
It's hard to sell somebody your album who's never heard of you because the economical situation these days with the economy, people don't want to gamble on buying something that they've never heard before.
Right.
So I end up giving a lot of them away. I do get a lot of support, but not enough. I could always use more. But yeah, more so in my whole entire career, I've been giving these things away, you know, trying to get my recognition, and that's why I work so hard and got so many albums and stuff, because I'm still trying to get my shine.
Right. And what's that one piece of advice that you give to fans out here listening to be able to ultimately record one album, to get one single out? What's that piece of advice you give from being in the studio as often as you are?
You got to have the pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
If you don't got the pieces to the puzzle, meaning the resources to make this stuff happen, then it's going to be extremely difficult to try to get your show on the road and get whatever you're trying to launch off the ground. More than anything, you just got to stay believing in yourself. Because I'm a person from Seattle that grew up listening to all these artists, and now they're emailing me and calling me and hitting me up when they're in town, and I'm doing songs and videos with rappers I grew up that are legendary to me. So, I mean, anything is possible at this point. That's why I haven't given up on my vision, basically making it onto the big screen with this stuff.
And what's one thing that makes you just the most excited all around, like every day when you start your day, when you wake up, like whether it's something you want to conquer or it's something you're giving back to the community? I mean, what's that one thing, if you had to kind of narrow down to one subject in DZ's world, that ultimately makes you proud and excited to, keep Seattle on the map like you do, especially today. And everybody can see right now because we're live on camera representing the Seahawks, and hopefully, with all the trades they did and all the, I like that, man. That is really, really nice, bro. And hopefully the team will, be a Super Bowl team, the next year. We got rid of Sherman, we got rid of a couple key players, but hopefully, the organization knows what they're doing, and hopefully, we'll be a contender this year,
For real. But back to the question, Dirty Harry, what excites me every day about waking up and getting this thing going is that I'm still breathing, because I got a lot of friends that aren't around anymore, I'm repping for everybody. I'm repping for the whole town, the people that are here, the people that aren't here, the people that gave up on their dream on the way, just they had the same vision as me, but couldn't continue to keep pushing and stuff like that. So I'm repping for everybody,
And who do you respect right now? Not necessarily locally, but locally and nationally. Like, who are some artists that you really are watching that you're really liking these days?
There's a lot of artists that I like. There's a lot of artists I don't like. I'm 35. I grew up in the 90s, in the era of gangster rap. So, a lot of the legendary rappers will always be my favorites, like the Snoop Dogs and whatnot like that. But the new guys, I like Young Jeezy.
Yep.
I like Rick Ross.
Yep.
I like Drake.
Yep.
All those guys are, creative and inventive to me, but always gonna have the utmost respect for Corrupt, because he's basically been like a big brother and a mentor to me since I met him back in Arizona when I was attending the University of Arizona. He pretty much gave me the West Coast stamp, took me everywhere with him, told everybody
That's
I was
huge.
his little brother.
That's huge, yeah.
Brought me around other legendary artists like Snoop Dogg himself.
Yep.
Daz,
I remember that. Yep.
Big time producers like Fred Rec, Battle Cat. He's
See
brought
Battle
me
Cat
everywhere.
right there? See up there, right there in the picture?
Yep, that's huge.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that's your buddy.
I love Battle
Yeah,
Cat.
shout out Corrupt, man. Shout out Corrupt Young Gotti from the Dog Pound.
And last time I checked, DZ, if you got Corrupt back and you, Corrupt is in Snoop Dogg's ear.
This is my second album right here. So Corrupt Presents. It's basically, he believed in me when he met me in Arizona. He didn't charge me a single dollar to help me put this thing together. He's never
Huge.
charged me a single dollar. He'll come anywhere I ask him for and represent for me.
And what I like about that
pure
relationship is, Corrupt and Snoop are best friends. So whatever
Right.
Corrupt pretty much tells Snoop, it just goes down. So
Pretty much.
That's really cool. All right, I want to play one of your hit records right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
on the
Stand My
show.
Ground. Stand My Ground featuring Jim Jones and Actual.
You want to introduce it, or was that the proper introduction right now to give it? Anything else you want to say about the record before I play it?
It's not out yet.
When is it?
It's going on World Star soon. It'll be available as a single on iTunes and Spotify within the month or two.
Okay,
It's on an upcoming project though called Bill Gates of the Blacktop.
There you go. Bill Gates of the Blacktop. DZ, Jim Jones, Stand My Ground, featuring Actual. Here we go. Studio 110.live. It's a beautiful Tuesday sunny afternoon out here where we broadcast from downtown Bellevue. Come on.
We playing this full contact sport like Seattle on the Seahawks. Far out. Hey DZ, what's the price on the Peasies? Keep it low though. John, Shit, that money talk, man, you should listen. Pay attention, money short, man, you be missing. Plus I heard that the snitching is a new tradition. And you should catch me in the kitchen, I'm a true magician. Moving bricks like a rabbit in a hat trick. You see that? A full clip that's automatic, make you backflip. I be running through Seattle like beast mode. I can make $1 million off a cheap stove. Watch the money like a nigga did 3 lows. Real niggas die once, you know the G code. Lock, load, then explode, then we reload. 2-seaters, but I'm driving around with 3 hoes.
Internationally known, I'm rolling the strong. I'm short when it comes to patience, but my money long. My whip stay the cleanest. My bitch, she the meanest. And she wanna fuck with me, but I don't even need it. I do what I want. Cashed out what I bought. Never let them hold me down. Always stand my ground.
I be politicking out in New York with Jim Jones. VVS the Diamonds, I don't do the gemstones. Shout out Ramen and Joe Aviani. They got me looking wet as a damn Dasani. I get the retros a week early, you stay camping. I'll be up all night though, I stay vamping. Seattle to the Barclays Center and the Big Apple. I'm breaking cookie down, pouring lean in my big Snapple. You don't gotta wait on it, you could get it right now. You just hate on it cause you don't live the lifestyle. Pockets so fat, they need a sip of Slim Fast. I done ran the race and I ain't never been past.
Internationally known, I'm rolling the strong. I'm short when it comes to patience, but my money long. My whip stay the cleanest. My bitch, she the meanest. And she wanna fuck with me, but I don't even need it. I do what I want. Cashed out what I bought. Never let them hold me down. Always stand my ground.
I'm on, I spend $1 million on my wrist wear. So when I'm in the club popping, bub, your bitch stare. Like the Birdman said, put some respect on it. If you ain't got no cash, then put a check on it. Everybody always told me I ain't gon' be shit. That's why I stay on my MOB shit. They wanna see me doing bad, but I'm doing great. They wanna see me fall off, but I'm still moving weight. Light green and purple peas. I'm smoking strong, I call it Hercules. I'm the cookie man, I'm the cookie man. I'll let the kid when you need some cookies, man.
Internationally known, I'm rolling the strong. I'm short when it comes to patience, but my money long. My whip stay the cleanest. My bitch, she the meanest. And she wanna fuck with me, but I don't even need it. I do what I want. Cashed out what I bought. Never let them hold me down. Always stand my ground.
Man, I like that beat, bro. Just that catchy beat. Perfect song for spring, summer. Got the drop top, driving down Alki, Lake Washington Boulevard in Kirkland. It just feels good, you know. It's just
Lake Union.
You got a good powerhouse record there, and the thing's not even out yet, and it's approaching 14,000 views. So you're doing something right. You know, you're doing something right. 14,000 views. So I'm sure World Star will be very excited to get that on their platform. Shout out to you, DZ and Jim Jones, Stand My Ground featuring Actual. Hey, we're a live show, you know. I'm human, you know. I try my best every day. So this is what I'm going to kind of throw.
Shout out West Coast Stone on the beat.
West Coast Stone, man. You know, you know me. You know, you and I have been buddies for a long time.
You love West Coast music, Dirty Harry. You're always like, you got some of that West Coast shit for me, DZ.
I love the West Coast, and it's just kind of got that. You know, I'm going to say it right now. It's kind of got that Battle Cat sound to it. So if it ever has that Battle Cat sound to it, you know, I'm just going to love it. So nice. I just, you know, that's just what I'm about. So, you know, I'm gonna throw a quick proposition at you real quick here. You know, just seeing the style of that video. How do you feel about the next video you shoot to do it right here in the studio, and we'll do part of it live on the radio? Get the camera crew up here. Get your models up here, and we'll do it up here at Studio 110's headquarters where we broadcast from. So if you feel okay about that, to do your next live video in here, let's do it right here at the station.
We'll do it. We got to have another interview so we can integrate live clips from the video. Or maybe from that one or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's get you a little closer to the microphone here. Let's get you a little closer to the microphone.
I got you, Dirty Harry. We'll put it together.
No problem. So what else is on the what else is on the horizon? We got the 25th album coming out.
We got the 25th album. We got 2 new albums coming out with my big bro, one of my favorite rappers in the game, Rich the Factor from Kansas City, Missouri. It's a double album. It's a 2-part album, rather, not a double CD.
Is this your first double album you put out?
No, it's not a double album. Just like this is part 1, part 2. It's just a part 2 to it.
Okay.
So, but it's already done. It's called Whale Money.
Okay.
And it's with Rich the Factor. He's from Kansas City, Missouri.
And when can we expect to hear that album?
Man, like I said, the artwork, man, has taken 1,000,000 years.
Okay.
The Photo Doctor.
Yep.
Yep.
Let me transition over here real quick to my other guest today on the big show, my buddy Jeremy Todd, Popeye Energy Drink. I appreciate you being here. If you want to just get a little closer to the microphone here for me. How you doing, Jeremy?
Great. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Good afternoon. You text me a pretty elaborate picture yesterday. I won't get too personal about it, but just to kind of put it into perspective, Jeremy knows what he's doing on all financial assets to make Popeye Energy Drink the pretty much the official beverage, not only hopefully of my brand new show, Studio 110.live, but the beverage that you'll be seeing at the 7-Elevens and at the AM/PMs, and give a couple other possible retailers where this drink will be out here.
Walmart's one of them.
Walmart, okay.
Yeah, we're in. I actually sitting on a contract to the broker at Walmart and Sam's Club right now.
That's huge, and we're talking on a national level.
Well, my game plan, I've told them, is I prefer to roll it out regionally first and take it nationwide and beyond.
Yeah. What did you think, Jeremy, of DZ's song that I just played, "Stand My Ground" featuring Actual?
No doubt, he's got talent.
Yep, he's got talent, and
Thanks, Jeremy. The energy drink is
which one are you drinking there, DZ? Which flavor?
Anchor and Apple.
Anchor and Apple. Do you think we can? You think that could be maybe incorporated?
I think he's got something.
You think he's got something? You think that could be incorporated into an upcoming song or an upcoming video or something like that? Or,
why not?
So there you go. There you go. See, when you drove down here today, Jeremy, you thought, you know what? What would be the chances, the opportunity to be able to get Popeye Energy Drink on a future elaborate based hip hop record coming from the Northwest, coming from DZ himself, right?
In all honesty, nothing shocks me anymore, but that wasn't what I thought was going to be happening today when I left the house.
Well, yeah, and I think my show is full of surprises. I mean, I think since you've been in a few times, and since you've been in, I mean, rekindling your relationship with Sir Mix-a-Lot last week, and
Yep.
you
Shout out Mix.
and you becoming buddies with Brienne Rice from The Bachelor and all the other guests, Marcus Trufant and all the other guests that have been here, and now DZ, and it's a good look all around. These are the type of vibes that I like, especially my buddy Andy Stokes right now, who's with Dub B. They're traveling on the East Coast, making some serious satellite radio visits.
Shout out Dub B.
You and Dub B go way back, so there's definitely a good proper.
C-Real Studios. That's where I recorded some of my first projects.
Yeah, so that was back in the day, and just kind of all kind of comes back to the day. All right, so DZ, what's that kind of? I know we touched on it earlier when I asked you about just kind of overall advice you give to up and coming aspiring rappers, but when you kind of meet other artists and you hear their projects in the studio and you're critiquing them, like what's that kind of bottom kind of angle line that you're looking for when an artist sends you their project, or even going into a studio session for another artist? What's the kind of the mastermind going on in your brain cells when you're kind of critiquing another artist project?
I mean, I'm a huge guy on sound quality, Dirty Harry, so the sound quality always matters to me and stuff. So are they recording in a good studio? Do they have a quality mixer? Like
Yep.
my mixer and my in-house engineer is Vitamin D.
Yep.
Shout out Vitamin D. He's a real seasoned guy. He's got a great ear for this stuff.
And just name a couple of the people he's worked with. I mean, he's worked with a lot of people, right?
50 Cent, the G Unit, I think. Matter of fact, he told me that he did the soundtrack for Power or something like that. 50 Cent's new show.
Yep.
Didn't
he do a bunch of stuff with Macklemore too?
Yep. He's a staple in Seattle hip hop. He's actually 10 years older than me, so he's been around for quite a while.
And he's your main studio engineer.
He's my main engineer for the past 6 years. I've been recording with Vitamin D. go to the studio every day. He's got a big studio in Occidental. It's called The Pharmacy. He's worked with Dr. Dre before. I think Dr. Dre's studio is called The Pharmacy too.
Yep, I think that's down in I think he transitioned it recently from back to his house. I think it was outside of his house in Los Angeles, and now it's back in his house.
So Vitamin D's new studio is back in his house too. It's not on Occidental anymore.
There you go. When you look at these 12 albums that you brought into the studio today, I know it's a hard question, and I know it's going to be a hard answer, but when you kind of prioritize these 12 albums,
it's easy. My favorite album, Dirty Harry, is Northwest Waylon.
And why is that? Explain to me why that's your favorite album.
I really like the artwork for one.
Yep.
Every song's well put together with a big time feature, with great mixing and great production. I think it's just it's one of my more popular albums. I did a few videos off the album to promote it.
Yep.
I'm all about the whales.
Yep.
Northwest Waylon.
And do you
basically
see
what that means to a person who doesn't know? Because probably a lot of people might not know. Whaling is basically doing it big, like a big orca whale or something, out in the Pacific Northwest Ocean. So
and just by seeing all the jewelry, I couldn't even guess the amount of money that's on your body right now. And it's none of my business, but when you're walking in with this type of jewelry on, I mean it. Someone like yourself you're not standing at the line to get the free bag of groceries. You're not.
Definitely not standing in the line for the free bag of groceries.
No,
Harry.
No, you're not.
But I might be soon, as much as I've spent on this dang stuff.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. But let me ask you a question, just because a lot of even new vehicles today.
But my new album, hold on, Dirty Harry, is my all-time favorite. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And if it was sitting on the table right now, I would have told you that was my favorite. But this is album 10 right here.
Okay.
And we're on album 24, and this is still one of my very favorite ones.
And that's the one you're listening to mostly in your car these days?
No, I'm listening to I'm listening to Whale Money with Rich the Factor that'll be out as soon as the artwork guy gets his stuff together.
So let me ask you a question then. So with kind of just technology, and it's no hidden surprise here with vehicles, a lot of newer vehicles not necessarily being equipped with CD players in the cars. I know some are. Are you transitioning now and doing less CDs and doing more now digital, so your fans can be able to acquire and listen to your stuff just the way people are buying the downloads and listening to the way people listen to music now? So
when I first came in the game, I was printing up 10,000 CDs. Like on this DZ presents Corrupt presents DZ Sleepless City Living, I had 10,000 of them. I only have like 4 left.
Huge.
So the full 10,000's in the streets. Not to say that I sold the whole 10,000, but it's been distributed.
Great.
So I don't know, Dirty Harry. All my stuff's online now. I'm pressing up 1,000 CDs of each right now. But I got 24 albums, so I got 24,000 CDs, basically type deal, minus, the stuff that isn't out yet. So I'm just pressing up 1,000 of each one. I'm selling them. I'm giving them away to fans.
Great.
All my music's online.
Great.
on every single digital platform.
Great.
And you said one thing for artists coming up. I'm gonna give everybody a secret today that took me a long time.
Please give that
to figure it out, and nobody else will give you the game. But you don't need anybody to sign you. You don't need anybody to put your music out for you. You could do it all yourself. I'm doing it all myself on TuneCore.com. TuneCore is a website that digitally distributes your music to over 200 websites worldwide, available for download, streaming, and whatnot. You pay one fee, $29.99 for 1 year, and you keep all of your royalties. You keep all your money. Other deals that I've been in has been like a 85-15 split, 75-25 split.
So give that address out again.
So if you want to keep owning all your music, distribute it yourself, and not involve another company, go check out TuneCore.com.
And that's who you're mostly partnering up with.
No, that's the only person I'm partnering up with. Not to say anything negative about anybody else, but I've had other distribution deals with big time distributors like Empire Distribution, Urban Life Distribution, just to name a few. And I like TuneCore best because at the tip of your fingers, you can upload your own music. You can check the balance of how much money you have. You don't have to call anybody up and pester them about do they owe you and whatnot like
Right.
that. When you see an amount that you like in the top right corner, you can hit the button and have it sent to your mom's house or your own spot or wherever you stay at within 3 to 4 business days.
There you go.
I just like being able to control what I got going on, and that's the best part of being the CEO of my own label, Game Official Music.
And when you're not doing music and you just wanted to take a break, like what are some other things that you enjoy doing on your off time, DZ?
I don't have much off time. I'm always working. I'm always hustling. I'm always grinding, trying to secure my future and get the recognition that I deserve. But
Do you like to work out? Do you like, fashion?
I was in the gym today. I ran 5 miles, Dirty Harry.
That's huge.
But out of nowhere.
5 miles?
I don't go every single day.
You don't go every day.
I was on the elliptical this morning.
And can we say which gym you work out, or should
The
we keep
LA
that?
Fitness.
The LA Fitness.
Yeah.
And are you in the which Seattle? Which one are you in?
Erica's hating.
Erica, you don't like my producer?
24 gold. So
She likes
24.
the 24-hour fitness.
24-hour fitness. All right.
There
well,
was
you-
there was no parking at the downtown location for me. I got 10 tickets just trying to go.
All right, so you and Erica may have to, clear this beef about which gym is better off the air, if it's going to be
It's all good.
the LA Fitness or the 24 Gold or whatever it is. So
I feel like LA Fitness is a more prestige gym. Like it's kind of like where the more rich people go.
well, hey, that's
When I go in and look around and stuff, it's like a nicer facility. I feel like 24 might have been around a little bit longer or something, so their gym is a little more ran down.
my
got its core, though, I will say.
The only thing I liked about 24-hour fitness more than LA Fitness is that they had a steam room.
Well, there you
That's
go.
the only thing that LA Fitness doesn't have is a steam room.
I talk to my buddies all the time about just kind of their gym routine and all that, and even some of the guys here at headquarters at Studio 110. And we have a really nice gym here in our facility, and sometimes I'm the only one in there. And I kind of like everybody's got their own style, but my personal style is, if I have the gym to myself, I'm perfectly happy. I don't need to go in there and be, bench pressing, whatever I bench press in front of, the whole gym. So I kind of like the quieter. The quieter setting for me. Erica, are we ready for Jamie?
Yes,
We are. Is Jamie on with me right now?
Nope.
Dirty Harry, you don't hit on girls at the gym?
Hold on one second there, DZ. Are we good here?
We're connecting.
We are connecting. Let me get my Skype level up here. Jamie, are you there? It's connecting still. All right. Let me know, Erica, when Jamie Adler is on the line, and we'll get him on. In the meantime, Mr. Popeye over there, kind of going back to the text message that you sent me yesterday, that maybe we'll be able to scribble out a couple things and get it on the Big Show's blog, just to show how big Popeye is really doing it out there. Any new exciting things? You went to Lucky. You
I went to Lucky over the weekend, yes.
And until I get my next guest here on the line, let's give me the rundown on how Lucky was.
Lucky was everything and more I hoped it would be.
Uh-huh.
This is my first time going. I've been to many music festivals, but this is the first time my schedule matched up where I could actually attend Lucky. Jaws was just beyond epic. His set of incorporating what's hot right now with what was in the past, he brought it all together.
Cool. We'll get back to that. Do I got my buddy Jamie Adler on the line? I'm doing well. I'm having it's a little. Can you talk a little louder for me? The levels are a little low. Let's crank that up. Talk a little louder for me there, Jamie.
I can barely hear him.
We're having our levels are high on our end, Jamie. I don't know if maybe your end. You sound a little distant there to me. My producer's telling me to turn your microphone all the way up if you can. That's better. That was better there for a second.
Is that better right there?
That's better, yeah. Can you talk a little bit?
You're too loud, Dirty. You're peaking.
How you doing, Jamie?
Man, never been better. Life is great. I got a 7-month-old baby. I'm a blessed man and doing well,
Congratulations on the baby. I've seen all the pictures on Facebook. I know you're kind of bouncing back all the time between here and Sydney, right?
Yeah, I'm living here in Australia, back and forth. I've gone back and forth 8 times from Los Angeles to Sydney over the last 7
Do you have your own private jet since you're going back every other week or no?
I'm working on that right now, actually. So just give me a little more time, all right?
I'd like the jet to be wrapped in Jamie Adler Entertainment. So
Adler Music Group, baby. That's who we are. Yo, Harry, man, congratulations on your new podcast. How's everything going with you, man? How's Seattle?
things are great, man. I'm looking forward to you getting back up here. It's been some time since I've seen you. I think last time I saw you up here was with my buddy Big Ol' Snoop Dogg at the Paramount Theater. Let me just give Jamie Adler the hold on one second we can't hear Jamie on the stream.
We cannot hear him on the stream.
We can't hear Jamie on the stream. Oh shoot. Okay, that's not good. I guess we're having some technical issues here, Jamie, on our end. Is there someone that we can get into the studio here to see if we can get this fixed in the meantime? But I will, I'll have to be creative here, Jamie, and kind of relay back to kind of what you say. But to give Jamie the proper introduction here, Jamie is a friend that's been around for many years here in the music business. He's a very well-known, respected manager and tour manager and logistics kind of head honcho based out of Los Angeles. Was that a good way to put it, Jamie?
I'm a jack of all trades, music manager, music agent, concert promoter, television movie producer. I'm really a son, a brother, and a father, and just doing a lot of great things right now. I'm very, very grateful to be in this opportunity, all these years later.
Absolutely. And what are some current projects you're working on right now?
Currently, I am, well, my number one favorite project is, of course, we're working on the biopic for my mother and brother's book. They both came out in the book. My older brother, Steve Nather, the original drummer of Guns N' Roses, a real success story, underdog story, lost everything, and got messed up on drugs, and then sure enough, the guy got sober, got clean, and went back on last year. He was at Dodger Stadium with Guns N' Roses on stage, closed out the show, and now I got an ending to our movie because my brother, no one ever thought the guy would be back on stage with Axl Rose and Slash and Duff, and he got to do that, and now I got the ending to our movie. So we're gonna do a movie on that and intertwine it with my mom's book. She came out with a book last year called Sweet Child of Mine, and we're gonna come out with a movie called Adler. I got major writers, major producers, and major directors backing that project. I got that going on. I got September 15th. We just announced it the other day, Harry. The Great American Smokeout.
Hold on one second, Jamie. I want to make sure. Can we hear us on the stream, Erica, or no?
Apparently we are having a little bit of difficulty hearing him. So
Is he on with me? Can people hear him, or the levels are too low?
I think that they're not hearing anyone.
What's that, Jamie?
Eric, listen, why don't we call you guys back because we just downloaded this on Nick's phone
they're not
right
hearing
now. Let's
anybody.
call you guys.
Yeah, call me back, and Erica will keep an eye on that particular computer here in the studio. We'll try to get back to you here, Jamie. Cool. All right, DZ, get back on with me.
Yo.
Jeremy, get back on with me while we clear these technical issues. I'll be excited the day that I can just have a seamless show where I don't have any technical problems. I mean, I'm looking forward to that day.
Don't worry about it, Dirty Harry.
we
It's your
just-
first episode.
No, it's not my first episode, but I'm looking forward to the show that we have.
It's a new show. You're still working the kinks out.
We're still working
It's
out.
everybody, all the fans better understand.
We're working out the kinks, and the kinks will be worked out. I'm just looking forward to having a show that everything flows properly. It's just, I've always had a high jump bar. I'm a perfectionist.
Me
So,
too. That's why I was gonna say when you asked me about when I'm in the studio with other artists, how do I want to critique them? I'm such a critical person when it comes to this music. I don't never want to critique anybody else's craft, their artistic whatever they're doing, because they might take it in the wrong way. You know,
right.
Because music's like a lot of emotion and stuff. You
Yep,
know, so.
yep.
I don't know. Maybe I say the wrong thing and it really offends somebody or something
But
like
it
that.
shouldn't, because it's like for you to be.
But
in
if they're asking me my opinions, Dirty Harry and stuff, and they want to hear the real honest truth, I'm going to give it to them. I'm not going to lie to them,
Right. Can we? How are we doing now, Jamie?
He's even lower.
You're still a little low for me, Jamie. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's our connection, but I don't think the. Can Jamie see me on the video?
St. Patrick's Day nails.
So in the meantime, Jeremy, you were talking about Lucky this past Saturday at Tacoma Dome, and I want to give you big props because I kind of pushed you to the test on Friday's show. I said, man, it would be really cool to get Lydia Booth, who was on my show on Friday. She was one of the hey Jamie, she was one of the featured dancers on the big platform there at Tacoma Dome, and you sent me a picture, and I see Popeye Energy drink was officially at Lucky.
Yeah, we were able to have some in.
Was that hard to bring it in? Did the security kind of check you like they do at the airport, or?
They actually were just cool about it. Everybody was in a good mood, good spirits.
Were you a little nervous to get Popeye in there? Or?
It wasn't the first time I've had the drink at venues, but this was one where I didn't want to upset anybody.
Right.
I have a lot of respect for people like Darius Washington who put it on, and just many others. With everything that goes on behind it, I didn't want to upset anybody.
Right.
So I did clear it before I brought them in. But yeah, it went over well, and I actually ran into Lydia and some of the gals backstage. And then when we were up in the VIP area at the same time, thought, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to.
Because honestly, when you sent me that picture, I had a hard time even realizing which one was Lydia, because when she described her costume and the makeup and the whole routine that goes in to kind of the rehearsal side to get ready for a huge platform like this, I could really see it. Like, honestly, if I was there and we walked right past each other, I wouldn't have known that was Lydia Booth. So honestly, I mean, I just, it was tough.
In all honesty, when we were all backstage, they were keeping all the food and drink and whatnot. At first, I think she'd been there for about 2 or 3 minutes before I even realized it was her.
Yep. How we doing here, Erica, my show producer here? Are we able to get Jamie Adler on here?
Hey, shout out my boy Corey Jones. He just hit me saying the show's sounding great. He's tuned in right now.
Thank you, DZ. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Erica?
It has to be disconnected from the microphone because it's.
Oh, I can't do that. We're live on the air, so we'll have to. You know what, Jamie? Hopefully, if Jamie can hear me right now, we can get Jamie on this week.
Why don't we just call Jamie on the phone?
Have him on speakerphone?
Because the listening audience won't be able to hear that, so we can't do that. Can't do that right now. But we will unfortunately have to reschedule Jamie. I apologize. If Jamie can hear me, Erica, maybe you can talk to him offline, and can we try to get him on tomorrow's show? Or I know we're pretty booked up, but I'd like to get Jamie on this week if we can.
We'll get you. We'll figure out all the technical difficulties today.
We'll get the crew. We'll get the crew here. I know the crew's outside of my studio currently working on the kinks. I think it's an issue outside of the studio, but we'll get it working right. So Jamie,
I was excited.
Yeah, I was excited too.
Tell
Jamie
Jamie
Adler.
I said what's up.
Jamie Adler is a legend in the business. Erica, I appreciate it. If you're going to go talk to one of the engineers, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So DZ, back to you.
About this energy drink though. Hold on, I was just peeping it out. So it's Popeye. I got a question for Jeremy. I like how it's got the cartoons on the side and stuff like that. That's really neat.
And it's the only energy drink, DZ, that's actually got real spinach in the drinks. Really? Vitamin water doesn't have that. Monster doesn't have that. None of these other drinks have.
So my question for Jeremy is, not to interrupt. Jeremy, did you holler at Popeye for this? Like in the aspect of is Popeye whoever owns the rights to Popeye?
There's your licensing. So Hearst Corporation out in New York, they own King Features Syndicate. King Features owns brands like Popeye, but also Betty Boop, Garfield, and whatnot.
Right. So you already got it all clear.
They're getting the royalties. In fact, they're getting another big royalty check at the end of the week. So shout out to Hearst Corporation.
All right, there it is. That answers my question. He's cleared. He's got the validation and the clearance. Hopefully, we'll see this in a local 7-Eleven soon.
Well, I think it's already in 7-Eleven.
Yep.
Which
right here in Bellevue, it's right on Main Street.
Right here on Main Street, and he's got a truck, and he's got a regular car. Jeremy's got multiple vehicles, and he's got his energy drink wrapped around the vehicle. So if you're driving down the street, it looks like a fire engine with the lights and sirens going to a call. I mean, you can't miss the Popeye, and that's what's so cool, I think, about just the image and the product placement about the cans itself. The Popeye is in red, and I know Jeremy and I have been talking offline, off the air, off my show about incorporating Popeye into the show as a sponsor, as the official beverage. And you mentioned that your gal probably listening right now in New York, needed a good opportunity to come out, and that might be a good opportunity for her to come out, right?
I think Carla would love to see the reception of the Northwest. It's like family out here, and I know that she's one of them that have been wanting to come up and experience the warmth of Seattle. So yeah.
Yep.
Dope.
Going back, well, I just want to ask you one more question about Lucky. What was your favorite experience about being at Lucky? Because a lot of people weren't there, a lot of people were there, but just coming from you, Jeremy, what was your kind of overall experience that you kind of walked out with that morning, I should say, right?
Yeah. I would say more than anything, it was just sensory overload. I've been to venues where they have phenomenal laser shows and everything, but it was the vibe, the energy in the room. There was so much love for everybody.
Yep.
And shout out to Slander. Slander crushed it. I was mind blown for sure.
And Slander, I'm guessing, is a DJ.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm not terribly, I personally don't go to a lot of, raves, parties like that, but I appreciate you getting everybody up to speed. While we have a few minutes, Jeremy, and I don't think you really touched on it either on Thursday's show with Sir Mix-a-Lot or even Friday's show with Brianne Rice. Kind of give us kind of how you acquired it. Just kind of give us the story and how that all came about. Because I think I think it'd be a good story for DZ to hear. Just for the the 25th album coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah, the long and short of it, this was a brand that was launched by a gentleman named Bill Niebusch. He's a really successful entrepreneur down there in Southern California. And he actually took this brand and thought it would be great to put it in things like maybe your 7-Eleven and whatnot, but he wanted to pursue a network marketing concept. And since I had friends that had done very well in it and I understood that side of things, through my good friend Johnny DeLeo up here in the Shoreline area,
Yep.
he reached out to me and said, hey, what would you think about repping Popeye Energy? It's a brand that just launched out of SoCal. And at the time, it was kind of a conflict of interest, what I had going on. I was trying to let him know this and said, you know what? Before I've always realized that an open mind is the best thing you can have. A closed mind could be the most expensive thing you'd ever own. So
Sure.
Looked into what they had going on, and I loved it. Right out the gate, I found out that it was a healthier option. I was looking for that. I wanted to rep a brand that was, in fact, GMO-free. And so finally, I don't know if it had found me or I found it, but I was actually literally praying for an opportunity like this to come into my life. As things would pan out, we did, in fact, start repping this a little more than 4.5 years ago, and it started to grow quickly. And ultimately, Bill had just so many other businesses going on, and he knew that this was going to need somebody's undivided attention. And him and his partner, Paul, could not, they just had other things going on, and I can respect that. The family that then took over the brand was actually some dragster drivers that made it into a Calvin Harris music video. It has surpassed 1 billion views now, just 3 years later.
Huge.
Huge.
And you're saying the drink was featured in that video?
It was. Multiple cameos of the Popeye Energy dragster was in that video. And so I knew the very day that it went out, I followed Calvin Harris, his career and whatnot, so I knew it was going to do well. And as luck would have it, those owners wanted to focus on what they had going on. They also have another business as well. And I got a phone call in December of 2015, right after my birthday. And the CEO at this time, his name is Nick. Nick had reached out and said, hey, would you sign an NDA? There's something we want to go over with you tomorrow. And I was thinking it's the end of the year. It was going to be the new marketing campaign for 2016. Well, I get that phone call the next day, and I was told it was coming down to me and one other person who actually is local to the community in Seattle as well. They said, you're the only one that signed the NDA. The other gentleman chose not to, so we feel that this brand is best moving forward in your hands. We like your vision. We'd like you to buy us out. And I was very stunned, in all honesty. I knew I didn't have the money at the time.
Right.
But I loved this company